But yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me at all. Your list of kind, wonderful humans, they all seem pretty lovely to me. I have to ask though, what was your reaction when you saw Lando in Perth with Daniel? How did that make you feel?
Oh, I was a bit shocked, honestly. I was like, Perth of all places, fair enough. But I feel like he hasn't really stopped or had a break.
Literally,
um,
Mhm.
yeah, but he just seems to be go, go, go the whole time. But yeah, I absolutely love that little reunion. I think that is one of my favorite pieces of content for the year. Because that is like Lando and Daniel like don't interact as much as they did last year or 2022. But yeah, I just whenever like Valtteri's currently in Adelaide at the moment. Lando was here, Daniel was here, Oscar was here. The fact that like
they're all
when
here.
F1 drivers come back,
Yeah,
like
McLaren.
voluntarily, true, it's the place to be.
exactly. I
Yes.
think they have that on the number plates in Victoria. It's like Melbourne, the place to be. I don't know if they've changed that. So,
True. No,
All
you're
you
right.
right.
know,
You're
All
right.
right.
Pretty spot on.
but yeah,
That's so sick.
McLaren, take notes.
True.
What, speaking of that being your favorite piece of like content from this year, what was your favorite bit of content from last year? I feel like this is a tough one.
I would have to go back through like, well, are you talking like
Or
personally or
just
like just in
any,
general?
any.
Obsessed with Fernando Alonso's TikTok. I think that is the most genius
I
piece
agree.
of social media in existence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I respect the work that Jimmy does for Fernando. It's just off the charts. Because you can just see he's built up this fan base that you didn't think would be Fernando fans at
Literally.
all. Yeah, tapping into that younger generation, he's suddenly got a brand new fan base. It's fantastic. I absolutely love
The
it.
microwave video, I was like, what? What is happening here? You just would never think that
That was
Fernando Alonso would
hilarious.
do something like that. He seems so
Yeah,
serious,
yeah.
and he's on TikTok
Right.
like being the most unserious human being ever. And I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this.
So from what I was told in the beginning, he was like a little iffy, but now like I think it was like halfway through the season, he just like threw himself into it and like started coming up with ideas on his own and was like, let's do this. So
We love,
I
we love
mean,
that.
for me, the Taylor Swift one was
Oh
probably
my
my
God,
favorite one of
yes.
last season. I was like
Like him
waking up
running
to
with
be
those
like, what?
rumors. Yeah, that was hilarious.
So funny. Sometimes you just need to tap in and like play into that meme and that joke. Like the rumors are like, oh, like, traditionally you would never speak of those rumors, but the fact that they've just gone so out of pocket to acknowledge them
Yes.
is just
And then
Yes.
genius.
you guys sort of play into it too, because you're like, oh my God, this is like taking off. So maybe we should say something about it too. Like, it's just,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love the fun that is being brought to the table now. Like, you would never see that years and years and years ago. Everything is so clear cut. Like, we're just here to sell tickets. We're not here to be fun. But now you guys are doing such amazing work to bring people in and love the sport more. Like, it's so much fun.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think we've personally noticed like a massive shift in our audience and demographics and database over the last few years, and that is I can't say any other way. It's just thanks to Drive to Survive. But like this new generation and era of fans has just like attached onto our fan base, which is great. But it just does allow us to have so much more fun because we do know that those pieces of content will be like received well.
Yeah.
Because traditionally like 5 years ago, you would never be able to do like TikToks like this, the big heads or
Yeah.
anything. Like it just wouldn't land. Um, so yeah, but every social media platform is different. Like Facebook's a lot older, Instagram's more like news, bit of everyone. TikTok's much younger, and then Twitter, Threads. Yeah, they're a bit interesting. Memes all the time, but also like relevant news that's
I'm
happening
so
um,
unserious on
at the moment.
Twitter. And I mean, I'm sure you've seen my tweets, but
I'm
that's,
the girl that follows but doesn't really do anything on there. I'm just like,
yeah.
this is where I get the news and the gossip and the funny memes that I'll like transfer to Instagram sometimes or make a TikTok for. But since Elon, that whole situation, it's been a little weird lately.
Feel like he's ruined it. But it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah,
We move.
It's fine. Yes, yes.
yeah, yeah.
Speaking of like content that, like you're like, you know how you're like, we can post whatever we want now. What about the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? posting that Home Alone poster, but with Checo, like Checo's in trouble. I don't know about that one. I thought that was a pretty bad
Oh,
move from them.
agreed, agreed. Yeah, it sometimes it is a bit scary when like things can go a bit too
Yeah,
far and you're like, oh, this is a good piece of content, it'll land, and then it doesn't. Hasn't happened too many times, but yeah, you always have to be on the side of caution, and I'm very much on the side of caution. It's actually the rest of my team that's like, just post it, see what happens.
they like to live
um,
life on the
but
edge.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And you're like, I like my job.
Important to
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, exactly. I just think it's so important to have respect for like all drivers, because you just never know what
absolutely.
they're like looking at online as well. Even the teams, you just don't know what that could like disrupt later down the line. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, respect is very important online as
As
well.
the great Harry Styles once said, treat people with kindness. Because we love, honestly.
100%. Earlier last year, that was actually, that I think was one of my favorite pieces of content I did personally. It was when I took a big Daniel Ricciardo head to a Harry Styles
Yes, I
concert.
remember that.
That was
I
like
loved
the
that.
funniest thing. It yeah, I just had one mission for the night, and that was to get it on the big screen. And I wanted Harry to see it, but it like just cut before he like turned around to
No.
see what everyone was laughing at. Um, but yeah, it was just hilarious. Like I had people lining up for photos with Daniel Ricciardo, the big
I
head.
love
That's
that.
amazing.
It was just wild. And then yeah, it blew up on TikTok. But yeah, I just love that like cross
Yes,
collaboration of
because he's
like
been seen wearing a
Harry
Daniel
Styles and Daniel
Ricciardo
Ricciardo.
shirt, right? And
Oh,
then
that's
he did the
right.
Yeah,
shoey on
yeah,
stage.
I
And
feel like that's when I
yes,
yes.
discovered, I feel like that's when I really discovered who he was, is when
I
that
was not
happened.
aware that you did not know who my man who's not my man's is. I didn't know
I
this.
That's so
I
funny.
just feel like I'm not I'm old. I'm old. I'm older. I'm older. I'm older. I
It's
just leave it
okay.
at that.
We can educate you, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's gonna
Yeah.
take a
Yeah.
whole
I
other
can
timeline.
I can educate you on like
true.
90s music,
Sure.
I mean, okay.
like
We'll
like
go with that. Yeah.
Compromise.
boy bands from 2000,
I mean,
NSYNC.
I think I'm pretty down pat with my 90s music. I don't know about you,
Okay.
Sophie, but I think it goes off in the
A little
clubs
Yeah.
bit
over
hit or
here.
miss.
It goes off.
True, true.
We love a bit of 90s
That's very
music.
true. We love a throwback
Oh, yeah.
Thursday.
What do we think Daniel Ricciardo's favorite
Time
90s
out.
song
Your
is?
throwback music is 90s. My throwback music is the 80s.
Gasp. Well, you
True.
have that in common with Lewis
That whole
Hamilton.
era.
Exactly. You have that in common with Hamilton. So
and
you're
and
fine.
Fernando. Like we're all like
Exactly.
within like a little bubble. I'm in between them. I'm like the sandwich in between, like they're the
We love
sandwich,
it.
the bread. Yes.
We love it. But yeah, what do you think Daniel Ricciardo's favorite 90s song is? Like, what does he jam out to in the car? I reckon Backstreet's Back.
Oh yeah,
I can
that's a good
so
shout.
see him.
I don't know what
But
specifically 90s
that's
music, but
not
I just in my
90s.
head it's just country all the
That's
Is it
time.
2000s?
2000.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoops. Whoopsie. Listen,
God, it feels like a
it
long
all
time ago.
molds into one for me, unfortunately. I was like, I
Yes,
popped
yeah.
out of the womb and then the 2000s and the 90s is all meshed
Anyways,
into one.
right. Right.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
So let's skip over that and
So
say,
good.
have you had any interactions with celebrities? Because we know celebrities are now coming to all of the races. And if you have, which ones and who are your favorite?
Oh, good question. Oh, I'm trying to rack my brain. I guess like Australia doesn't have like a massive celebrity presence like, Miami, Vegas, Silverstone, but I don't know, I guess in itself the drivers even like the MotoGP riders, because we also do the Grand Prix down at Phillip Island.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess like you kind of forget how famous they are like globally. Yeah, I can't really think of any celebrities that I've worked with. I'm sure they have, but
I know they're not
I'm
celebs,
blanking.
but I think it would have been cool to work with Shameless, like, because Shameless were around, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah,
So there's this podcast here
true,
in
true, yes.
Australia, Casey,
Okay.
by two women, and it's called the Shameless Podcast, and they're great. They're like they
I'll
seem
have to
like
look them
wonderful
up.
gals.
They were
Yeah.
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, so they came and did a takeover of our Glamour on the Grid event last year for F1. So yeah, I took them around, filmed all that content with them, and yeah, you're right, they were great. They were just ready to party, ready to have a good time as well. But
Amazing.
yeah, they were keen to do anything, which was
We
great.
love that. I mean, that's it. That's just a classic Australian personality, isn't it? We just want to party. We just want to have a drink,
True.
and we're up for anything. I said yesterday that if Daniel Ricciardo gets on the podium this year, I've never done a shoey because I think they're disgusting. Not when he does it, but I just cannot bring myself to do it. But I said that if Daniel gets on the podium this year, I will be doing a shoey on the podcast.
Just in Australia or just
Anywhere,
Anywhere.
anywhere.
Okay.
And
I'm not
I
prepared,
get around
but
that.
I hope
I
he
need it to
sees this
happen.
because when these things happen, he ends up winning and getting on podium as Zach Brown.
Oh yeah, speak it into existence. It'll happen.
Exactly, we're manifesting. I mean,
Yes.
listen, I'm putting my own self on the line, but it's fine. Anything for Daniel Ricciardo, okay?
And
Love
I said
that
it
guy.
could be a clean shoe,
Same.
or a
It
new
could be a
shoe.
new
So
shoe.
new shoe.
Yeah, smart. Not a race worn boot.
Although,
Oh,
would you if
Oh
Daniel offered his boot to you? Would you? Would you?
what am I, an idiot? Of course I
yes,
would.
that's content.
Exactly.
That's true.
100%.
That's
Yeah,
Absolutely.
true.
Oh my
All
goodness.
right.
yeah. I think if Daniel or Oscar got a podium, a win at Albert Park, I think all of the
The whole
entire
grandstand,
AusGP,
every
like
grandstand.
staff,
Yeah.
fans, media, everyone would be doing
What
shoeies.
about Las Vegas trying to claim that they had the first shoey bar? Well,
Shoey
no,
bar.
no, no,
Oh,
no, no.
yeah. So I saw that come through on Twitter. Yeah, someone tagged OzGP and was like, "Why didn't you guys think of this? That's so embarrassing." And I was like, "Hang on a minute.
The
I
phone.
remember seeing a photo. I think it was 2017. I could be wrong. 2017, 2019, and yeah, we had a shoey bar, as you do for Daniel Ricciardo.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't try to claim things that you have
Don't
Yeah,
blame it on me.
knowledge on.
exactly. That's ours. It's
We're
ours.
just
Yeah,
American citizens. We claim everything as being the first.
yeah, fair.
Even when you
Classic.
see that it's truly like someone else invented it and it's in front of you. No, I did it. Like,
Well, we have that
sorry.
argument over pavlova, so we don't know. Nobody knows who created the pavlova. Was it New Zealand? Was
No one
it
will ever know.
Australia? We'll never know. But the shoey, we can definitely claim that as ours.
Yes. 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have you done a shoey, Sophie?
I haven't
Okay.
actually. No, I haven't. I think it would take a lot for me to do a shoey.
Like Daniel on a podium?
Especially on camera. Oh yeah, I
Specifically at
think I
Albert
could do it
Park.
then, but oh yeah, I think if he's doing well, I'll do a
Yeah.
shoey.
Okay, well, I'm holding you to that. You too. I'm holding you to it.
Sure.
Again, anything for
Done.
Daniel Ricciardo. Anything to see him doing well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think he's had a tough time recently, and poor guy. Poor guy.
Yeah.
I just want to see him smile
True.
sincerely,
Yes.
not
Yes.
just
Yeah.
for
He's
PR.
on the mend.
Yes, and we love that. Slay, Daniel. But yeah, do you have any, exciting plans or innovations in the OzGP pipeline coming up?
Oh, I can't give too much away.
This is a safe space.
Yeah, I guess we're always working on things. How many people are going to be listening to
You
this?
can tell us, it's
Thousands.
fine.
Yeah, I guess we have a few things in the pipeline at the moment. Nothing that I can speak on. But I guess we're currently just about to announce our music lineup for this year, which is super exciting. So and it's going to be hopefully our
Banging.
biggest and best ever.
I'm excited.
Hopefully, we're still locking in everything.
I'm ready to party.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing that we're trying to work out. How can we announce that and make that a very unique piece of content? Because usually we just put up a Coachella style graphic that's here are the headliners. It's okay, but yeah, again, I'm always thinking outside the box. How can we make this more fun? How can we get people to Albert Park on Thursday and Fridays when typically they're not our best and most attended days? And I think music is definitely going to be the way to do that this year, if not next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think you guys for Thursday and Friday have been doing a really good job of pumping out the Melbourne Walk. stuff, and I think that's
Yes.
going to bring so many people in, because that's like not very many GPs offer that. I don't think any, to my knowledge, offer that.
What is this?
Yeah.
Explain it. I'm sorry.
I'll let Sophie explain
So Melbourne Walk is Melbourne Walk's an area of Albert Park that is a pathway that leads into the paddock. And so on every morning and every night of the event, the drivers will walk down Melbourne Walk and sign autographs for fans along the fencing. And so it's really the only opportunity that fans get to meet and interact with their drivers every day. And yeah, it's chaotic. Like the moment gates open, people are sprinting. It's
It's a
terrifying,
stampede.
but it's absolutely a stampede. But yeah, it's such a massive draw card, and I think for Thursday, like that's a quieter day, so you definitely have a better chance of meeting drivers on that day. So yeah, that's definitely why I'm pushing the Melbourne Walk front on Thursdays and Fridays on socials at the moment.
Love it. I think it's
Amazing.
working. You're going to have an
Hopefully.
even bigger stampede this year, manifesting, but nobody getting hurt,
Yes.
also.
No, I love
Yeah.
this idea.
Yeah, no injuries,
I
please.
love this
Yes.
idea because I don't, you're right. I've never heard of this type of, access to drivers because normally they drive out of the paddock area and they're gone, like in their SUVs or their Ferraris, or I think Pierre took a Vespa or something.
Seb actually got in trouble in Melbourne for riding his scooter on
Oh,
track.
that's right. That's where it was. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That was so
But it
funny.
was hilarious. He gave us great content. We loved
Yes.
it.
Definitely. Yeah, that was a moment, an iconic
Yeah.
moment
And
for
you know what?
sure.
Chump
Yeah.
change for Sebastian Vettel, so he's fine,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
This is going to be a really serious question, but I really like it's a tough one. But I think that, as an admin, we need to hear from you guys, like, especially in countries like Australia, where predominantly a lot of creators are white. Do you think we need to diversify in the Australian like Grand Prix space, like at the events that we're hosting and things like that? Because I know that it just sort of works out that like a lot of our influencers are white, but how do you think that maybe we can go about changing that?
absolutely. You're so right in saying that. It is a massive area of opportunity and an area that we're looking into all the time, how we can continue to diversify the way that we interact with influencers, content creators across the board. And I think it's such an important area to invest time and money into just so we do have that presence. So yeah, we're always open to working with creators like people of color, every background, women, everything. I personally am very passionate about it, so I just want to make sure that everyone's given opportunities where possible.
Yes.
So yeah,
We love to
absolutely.
hear it, because I just think that sometimes personally for me, like I look at these events and I'm like, hold on a second. Where's the brown people? But, you know,
Same. I do the same thing. I'm like, everybody is the same, which, I mean, let's be honest, this is a white male sport, white rich male
yeah.
sport
Well, I think
prior, yeah.
because we're all Lewis fans, we all would have heard what Lewis has to say about it, right? Because he's like, you look in the Ferrari garage, there's not one person of color in there. And he's right. Like, it's crazy. But yeah,
Yeah. There are some teams that are still quite behind in that whole area. Even like women working in teams, there are a few bad offenders, but yeah, I think F1's definitely more progressive. You look at MotoGP on the other hand, and it's even worse. There's still people that want grid girls. Like it's just 10 years, 15 years behind. So I think baby
yeah,
steps every year we're working on like improving and like um, creating a safer space at our event at least. But yeah, I think you can see this massive shift and change in the sport and just motorsport in general. That's going to be giving more people opportunities that have previously not been given those
absolutely. And
chances.
we love that. I mean, baby steps are better than no steps. And especially, I did not know that about MotoGP, because
I
I
didn't
need to get
either.
into more motorsports, but I'm currently at capacity for sport right now.
Yeah.
But but yes.
Fair.
like very it's so great to hear that insight because yeah, you just don't know what's happening, right? And I think the whole
Yeah.
F1 Academy situation is going to open so many doors. I cannot wait to see every team's F1 Academy livery this year. I think that's
I
something I'm
know.
really
Yes.
looking forward to.
And seeing it
And
on
Me too.
TV, right? Like,
literally, it's a massive step, but it's still not enough, but we're getting there. And I think that's what's important.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if Alpine don't give me a full Barbie girl car, then I don't know what to tell you.
it's so disappointing.
Oh, it's looking that
It
way.
is.
So
It is
it's
looking
so
that way.
disappointing every year when they're like, we're gonna have a pink car, and then it's only a pink car for like one or two races. I'm like, no, can we like switch
I know.
this? We
Literally.
have pink
Yeah.
more?
Pink the whole year,
Yeah.
please.
Pink
That would
isn't
be
even my
great.
favorite
I think
color, but I need it. I just need that so badly.
we need rainbow grid.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that's I
Yeah.
love having pink in in an area that is not traditionally like feminine. That's why I like the pink in
Mm.
our logo and pink in my
It's
stuff that I do
crazy.
because pink's not my favorite color, but I think
Literally.
it's important to be representative to women and like the feminine eye or however people see it.
Yeah.
So I think the pink is very important.
It's isn't it just crazy how much one a color can make people so angry? Like I don't get it. But then it just circles back to what people think of women, which is just insane to me. Because yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's also one cool that kind of took me towards Lewis too, because his color was like purple. And I'm like, okay. You're
He
not a
owns the color purple.
traditional, yeah, and it's outside of the normal box. But being a woman in just like motorsport space, have you felt any like pushback or anything that's you can tell it's like a misogynistic, like old school, man's world. If you don't have to like divulge too much, but like it's a free space.
I think I think like when I first applied for this job, I kind of was a bit hesitant because I didn't really know what the workplace was going to be like. Because yeah, F1 and motorsport in general does have that stigma attached to it that it is like a man's sport. But like I step in foot into the office every day and it is easily 50-50 men and women and people of all backgrounds, which is just great to see. But I think yeah, going back to like MotoGP, it can be a little bit like daunting sometimes working in that space, like down at Phillip Island. But I think they're continuing to progress, which is great to see year on year. But yeah, I think that's the only time where I've felt a bit like out of place. But I think yeah, we have to give credit to F1 where it's due because they are miles ahead in many areas, and they are
Yes.
continuing to improve and progress. Yeah, I think it's just like it makes my heart warm because it makes me excited because yeah, as a woman in motorsport, I just want to help and continue to inspire other people where I can, play a very small role in it, but yeah, I just want to do my job and help more women get into motorsport.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And you're slaying, girl. We love to see
Yes.
it.
Yes.
We
And
love it.
it's not a small job. It's a huge job. Like you are connecting people from all over the world with your content and inspiring us to make content and teams like that have millions and millions and millions of followers. I mean, you're doing an amazing job. So it's not a
And
small
you're
part, it's a
changing,
Thank you,
huge
thank
yeah.
part.
you,
You're literally changing the game,
thank
I
you,
think.
Yeah.
You're doing an amazing job, just as
Yeah.
Casey said. Like you
thank
changed my
you.
whole outlook
Oh,
on Oscar Piastri. So I
Yes.
think that's a
oh,
win.
there
Yeah.
you
That's a
go,
win.
baby steps.
Yes.
A
Yes.
win is a win.
Yes.
Love it.
A win is
But yeah.
True.
But yeah, you know what?
Thank you. That's very
As
sweet.
a cricket girly, I think maybe we should do a crossover between OzGP and the cricket,
Ooh,
especially because Oscar loves himself some cricket. So
that's
I'll give
very
you that one
true.
for free.
Okay, thank you.
and
Yeah, that's definitely something I'd love to explore.
I'll just add in there, this lady here knows a lot about both. So maybe if you need like a host or someone to
I'm
make the
down.
interaction
I
happen.
volunteer
True,
as
true.
tribute to my two favorite things in the
I'll keep it
world,
in mind.
cricket and Formula One.
Oh, what a dream.
Yeah.
Yes, she's teaching me
Love
cricket.
it.
Yes.
Yes. It's going to take a long time, but you'll love it in the end.
I pick up on things very quickly.
You know, during Grand Prix weekend, what are your sort of like what are you feeling, first of all? And secondly, like, give us a sort of behind the scenes into like what's happening during Grand Prix weekend, like what's all the preparations and things like that, like, because I'm sure it'd be insane.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hectic like now, and we're still 7 weeks
Yeah.
out. But yeah, so my team, the digital team and broader marketing team, moves down to Albert Park from our offices, which is opposite Albert Park. But we moved down to the circuit about 2-3 weeks prior to F1. And so we're based down there full time in the lead up to the event. And those days are long, but it's so incredibly worth it at the end of the day. But yeah, during event week, I have a team of 7 that comes on board and works with me. And they're all social media assistants and producers. And yeah, because I honestly could not put out that much
Yeah,
content
no.
by myself. So
No
I do need a
way.
bit of assistance. And so, yeah, my role during event is to manage the team and ensure that all of our content is getting out on time. We're reacting as things go, helping like partnerships and sponsorships go out correctly. So yeah, I put together this massive content calendar, and it's essentially minute by minute every single day
Wow.
for the event week of what content needs to go out and when. So yeah, it is like our social media Bible for the entire week, and these social media producers are there to just execute my plan. So yeah, I've started this year's content calendar, and yeah, there's some exciting stuff in there already, but it really comes to shape and fruition like event week, where you can see like, oh yeah, this will happen at this time, because at the moment I'm just, punching in like times, random times. I hope that it
Yeah.
happens, but yeah, it's very intense, but I absolutely love it. And yeah, the social media team that I bring on is like phenomenal. They just can like run with an idea and just go. So I think hiring a like combination of young and experienced people is very important to be able to cover all bases. So yeah, occasionally we do have like uni students or fresh graduates that come on board, or we have people that have been in social media and marketing for years and years and years. But it's just that whole broad spectrum of social media experience that I need to be able to execute it, because yeah, some people might not know what TikTok trends are, but others might have much more experience in other areas. But yeah, it essentially helps me get this job done correctly and very
We
efficiently.
love that. Chaotic good. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Mm.
Yes,
Yeah, I can't
yes, yes.
imagine, because even when I go to a race, it's you're trying to like record, but then you're trying to post, but trying to pay attention to what is going on around you. And it's like I need like 20 hands to do it. So yeah,
It's
Oh
insane.
yeah,
it's it's crazy. So is
absolutely.
there
Yeah.
a place, if like some of our followers want to apply for those jobs, is there like a board that people can go look for those jobs, or do you just kind of use your network to reach out to people?
So historically, I have been building up a team and then changing it bit by bit every year. So currently I've got 4 people that are coming back from previous events, and then hopefully I'll bring on some fresh faces as well. But we don't generally advertise for these jobs, just because the influx of inquiries and applications would just be off the charts. I already get like so many
I was
messages
gonna
every day.
say,
How do I get a job? How do I join your team? And it's just so difficult to like filter through and give everyone a chance, because I would love to, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it is the people that are right for the job. It's not like an easy job, so you have to be at that level and ready to just put 110% in at the press of a button.
absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, we're always advertising like other event roles on our website or on Seek or on LinkedIn. So there's definitely ways to get in, but I think I always just say like previous piece of advice is just network as much as you can on LinkedIn, in person, attend events, and just meet new people. Put yourself out there. It'll take you so far in life.
Absolutely.
And then the
Yeah.
other piece of advice is to get experience anywhere. If your goal is Formula One, motorsport, footy, anything, just get experience anywhere, doing anything. I just think people can pigeonhole themselves and just be like, F1 is the dream, and if I don't get there, then like
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah.
But like I got experience making cakes for like 5 years, so it's really just, you never know what's going to get you in at the end of the day. So yeah, that's my 2 pieces of advice: just get as much experience as you can
And it's
anywhere.
great
Right.
advice. It really, really
Absolutely.
is. And I just want to say two things. Number one, I've seen her cakes. They are amazing, so I'm not surprised. And number two, like, correct, networking is just, it can get you so far in life. It's insane. And oh, maybe three things. I am guilty of assaulting the AusGP inbox before, so sorry.
There was actually a TikTok video that I saw recently. A girl said, well, I don't want to bother people. I already asked once. I already messaged the person once. And she was talking to her boyfriend. And he's like, oh, no, I'll message 15 times to the people to try to like network and to like get my name there because you never know what's going on. And I think that's like, obviously, don't bombard her people with like
Yeah.
millions of but like do a follow-up the next year. Don't like give up. And like us, just start making content and doing
Yeah,
what you love and talking to people around you because you never
Exactly.
know.
absolutely. Yeah, you're so right. So right. I get people all the time, and you're right, following up, and just checking in, seeing where they're at, seeing where I'm at, if there are any opportunities. I wish that I did have more than 7 roles to fill, and I could give so many people jobs or like work with everyone, but it's just physically not
Yeah.
possible. But yeah, I don't have anyone else working with me at like AusGP. Like I'm the only social media coordinator. So then there is the rest of the digital team that helps me. But like, yeah, people are always like, can I intern for you? Can I work for you? Can I, do you have any permanent positions? Yeah, it's because during the event time, that's like our busiest time, and that's when I do need the help. But for the rest of the year, when it's off peak season, it's manageable for myself, so I don't need that extra hands. And if I do, I can go to my team, rely on them. Yeah, I wish I could give everyone a job.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Like it would.
One day it's gonna
One
keep
day, maybe.
growing.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
that's actually like a good point. So in the off season, like what does your job look like? Because I know you're still posting and things like that, but is it more focused on maybe not so much races because there aren't any happening, but getting ticket sales out there mainly, I'm gonna assume.
Yeah. So, I guess like our year is kind of broken into like 4 quarters. And I'd say like F1 event season, then we move into selling MotoGP tickets. We go into MotoGP, and then we go into F1
Mhm.
tickets. So it's kind of like 4 quarters, and that's just our focus for each part of the year. That's how I like picture it in my brain anyway. But yeah, I think I'm definitely not like always busy, but I'm not always like relaxed
Yeah.
and not doing anything. The season, because I am following both MotoGP and F1 season, like there is a lot to cover, so that definitely keeps me on my toes. But yeah, we're always wanting to like continue to sell tickets and like meet that demand. So just figuring out different ways that we can communicate to fans and get their foot into Albert Park or Phillip Island. Yeah, that's mainly my whole job, just figuring out that strategy.
I don't know if Casey has any more questions, but we probably don't want to keep you
Yeah, we
held up for too long. But
I don't have I guess I have to say, what is your biggest hot take for 2024? Like, like
Oh, spicy. I'm really on the bandwagon that Daniel will go to Red Bull.
okay. I am not on
That's
that one.
I
personal
am on
opinion.
this
I have no
bandwagon too.
insights.
Casey is
Okay,
not.
okay. I am not.
um, yeah, I don't have any ties to Red Bull. I don't. Yeah, I think that's a very hot take. I don't know if it'll happen, but I think for the plot, it could
To
be
the
the biggest
storyline.
shake up this year.
It would,
I'm right
yeah.
there with
Yeah,
you, sister.
2024, the plot.
Oh, and also, who's your top three for this year? What do we think the championship standings are going to look like?
Oh, good question. I'm gonna have to say Max again.
Come
I would
on.
love it to be someone
Mm.
else,
Are you sure you
but
don't work for Red Bull?
um, yeah, I know. I'm gonna say Max, Lewis, and Lando.
Okay. Ooh, I like.
I think
Lando.
McLaren's in with a chance
I
this year,
reckon.
and I'm really backing them. I hope Ferrari can get up there as well, but yeah, I just think McLaren could have nailed it this year, and I'm very, very excited to see how this goes
We
for them.
want we want to see Lando win a race this year. That's what we want to see
Yes.
because
I also have another hot
Okay,
take.
let's hear it.
I
yes,
think that Oscar could win his first race before
yes.
Lando, and I
Yes,
want that to happen.
yes.
Wow, do we share the same brain? Because we said
Yeah,
the exact same thing.
Same thing.
Like,
oh, that was so funny.
Yes.
see it
Yeah,
That's
happening.
I want Lando to get his first win, 100%.
But I want Oscar, yeah.
I think the scenes, if Oscar gets his first win, would be incredible.
Oh,
That's why I
I'd
was
do like 3
shocked
shoeies if that happened.
that you
Honestly.
said that Lando would be P3 and not Oscar.
Oh, true. Yeah. We'll see.
Surprise.
Time will tell.
Surprise rookie season, maybe. Well, not rookie anymore. He's a seasoned driver now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can see that. All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down. McLaren in their reputation era. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, manifesting.
Yeah, and okay, I have another quick question. As an admin, how do you feel about how they deleted everything on their Instagram?
Yes.
I think marketing wise, genius. Admin wise, who the hell did that? Like, did someone sit there and archive 10,000 posts? Because I want to know what platform or tools they're using to do that. Did they delete it all at once? I don't know. I should just reach out to my friend who works there and ask them, but yeah, I kind of like the mystery around it.
Absolutely.
I went in and I was like, wait, how did they do this? Have they been slowly deleting from the back up?
Yes.
Possibly. Did they just get the intern to do it?
I was thinking they're like, intern, sit here and archive all these posts.
Yeah. Well, I hope that I don't know if they have already. I haven't checked, but have they unarchived everything
I can't
already?
check right now.
Or have they just started fresh?
But yeah,
Let me see.
we will find out.
Let's check this.
The suspense.
But yeah, very reputation era
Absolutely.
vibes.
They're in their
and
everybody's in their everybody's in their Taylor Swift era. All admins.
True.
Everybody loves her.
Yeah.
It's the best marketing movie.
No,
it's still no post there. Wow.
There you go.
Maybe until after the car launch.
Re-upload everything. Oh yeah, that's a good take.
Yeah, I reckon after the car launch, all the posts will be back.
Who's sitting there and putting them all back then?
The intern. The intern who had to archive them all.
Poor intern.
If anybody wants to intern for McLaren, this is what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do this correctly,
you've got one job.
It's 24 hours for like 3 days.
Literally. No sleep. Just archive the posts.
No sleep.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I just am so honored that you would take the time to be our first guest on our little podcast.
And that you would be, like Casey said, that you even came on our podcast. Like, we really, really appreciate it. And I think this has been such a wonderful conversation, and you've given us so much cool insight and advice, and we love your takes. So yeah, I will see you in March for some racing.
Yes, and we wish you all, well, I probably won't be there, but I wish you all the best, that everything that you're putting together, like, it just goes smoothly. I'm excited. I'm so excited to see what you have in store.
Thank you so much. We'll have to get you out here one day.
Yes,
absolutely.
You never know. I sometimes book flights last minute, so I might just pop up and be like, do you have a paddock ticket available? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't even have one for myself.
No, just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thank you so much.
We'll let you go. Thank you. All right.